Hi, my name is Lierich. I race in Australia with elite and winning HPV pedal prix teams such as Relentless Racing, Aurora Racing and Platt Racing. I also hold the Australian 1 hour and 6 hour world record HPV endurance records. Over my many years of racing HPV, elite triathlon and as a personal trainer, I've come to distinguish the elements that make the difference between not only winning as a team, but also how committed pedal prix riders need to be, determined and focused athletes. Training, race preparation, consistency, attitude and teamwork ensures that riders will continually improve, which goes towards their individual and ultimately their team success.
Why is it important to prepare to race as an individual and a team?
It's really important to prepare to race as an individual, but as a team, you're in a role in your team. So it's really important to get the work done on the training track, come to the race, do your best job for your team, because you've got your role to fill in the team.
How do you prepare and manage yourself for your endurance during a race?
Yep, so it's a pretty common thing to want to go out there and in the first 5 or 10 minutes, go super fast, light it up, be nailing all these awesome lap times. But you got to think bigger picture. You got to think, okay, I've got to ride for, maybe 40 minutes, maybe 60 minutes, maybe even 80 minutes. So you've got to really come out with an approach that, okay, I've got to pace this. I want to finish stronger than what I start, okay? That's the ultimate in riding a fast stint, okay? You don't want to come out and be dropping all these hot lap times, and then by the end of your stint, you're going 10, 15 seconds a lap slower. So it's quite important as well for your team if you can maintain a really good lap average. Regardless of what your competition's doing, you still have to ride within yourself. You can't ride outside of your own ability or fitness.
What's the first step when it comes to training for an individual?
Yeah, training's massive. It's really important. You need to find a routine that you can consistently stick to week in, week out. Okay, if you're riding 3 times one week, 4 times the next, then all of a sudden you're only riding once. You just need to find something that you can stick to, that you can be consistent to, because that's really what matters when it comes to training, is consistency.
Why is nutrition important both before and on race day?
Yeah, well, it's quite important to make sure that we're fueled properly and we've got all of the right nutrition in our body. So my general rule is I like to eat my final big meal 2 to 3 hours before my ride, okay? Just to make sure that I'm feeling really good, I'm energized, all my muscles are filled, and that I can perform really well. So that can be a little bit tricky sometimes if I'm riding at lunchtime. I might need to eat my meal a couple of hours before. So we can really try and balance that in if we know our team plan, a few days before, and then you can get your meal in when's required.
Why is hydration important during racing?
Yeah, and hydration is massive in this sport. As you know, we race in enclosed bikes, so there's not a lot of air, there's not a lot of cooling, so our sweat rate can be so much greater than what it normally is in training. So I like to keep very hydrated a few days leading into a race, especially the morning of, and during the race is really important as well.
What support do you look for from your team while you're racing?
Yeah, so most races will have a lap board at our pit, and we'll probably have another lap board on the other side of the track. So we're getting constant communication, we're getting split times of the advantage that we're up, or my favorite that I like is the split that I'm chasing. So I love to chase. So whether we're already a lap up, I want to get 2 laps up. So they'll give me a split of 1 minute, 20 seconds behind. And then each lap time, they'll hopefully be coming down as I'll be getting faster and I'll chase them down. But it's also just little stuff like cheering riders on, getting around different parts of the track, giving them lots of confidence, giving them lots of support, and that can come from riders, team support, parents, anyone at all.
What's your post-race routine once you finish your racing stint?
Normally I jump on the cool-down bike. Most of the time, each of the guys will come past me, give me a pat on the back, say, well done, how cool was that, or how good was that when you did this? And it's the best feeling when you have done the training and when you perform on race day. So that's what really motivates me outside of races, to just get that feeling when you step out of the bike, you've done your job for the team, you've done your job for yourself, and you feel really good about yourself.
How do you manage your nutrition and hydration once you've finished your race stint?
In a 6-hour race, once I've ridden, if I know that's my last ride, I let my hair down a little bit. It doesn't really matter what I eat for the rest of the day. In a 24-hour race, I'm straight into my hydration, I'm straight into my carbohydrates. I get as much in as quickly as I can. I get a good cool down, a good stretch, and I get ready for my next ride, which might be in 4 hours or 8 hours, but it's really important to just get that nutrition in straight away, get a proper cool down in, and then you can start your recovery process before your next ride.
How do you rest and conserve your energy during a 24-hour race?
Depending on when you're riding, you may need to go to bed early, or you might need to just go and sit down for a bit. Often at 24-hour races, and I can relate to this as a teenager, I'd want to go and look at all different parts of the track. I'd want to go and look at this corner and then that corner and walk the track. And I find by the time I'm riding, I've been on my feet all day. So if you really want to perform really well, sometimes you've got to say, okay, I've just got to chill out here. I've got to take a seat, okay? And I've just got to rest my legs.
What are the core things you need to understand to be a successful pedal prix racer?
I believe you just got two aspects. You've got your individual side of things, where you just want to do your absolute best. You want to race as fast as you can for as long as you can. And then you've got your team environment. So you've just got to know your role in the team. Whether you ride once, whether you ride 3 times, whether you ride 5 times, you've just got to do your absolute best role for the team possible. And that's the way that success is made.